Hello again in another episode of GunfireTV. Sometimes, in a world of real steel firearms, somebody makes something that is quite unique and unorthodox. Sometimes it happens in Herstal in Belgium, sometimes in Ijevsk, Russia, and sometimes in Cocoa, Florida, USA. And this is something we're gonna be talking about today because in front of you there are Kel-Tec RDBs. Of course, these are replicas, so they are not firearms. Produced by ARES and licensed by EMG. So there is some of US of A inside of each one of them. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so as you can see there are three colors to choose: olive, black and tan, and there are two lengths of the magazine, short one and long one, and both of such magazines, and both of them are mid-caps, you will find in your box. And do not feel troubled because other AR-15 mags also fit in those replicas. Alrighty then, so what is it made of? Everything you see that it's in tan color, it's made of high-density polymer, very similar to the original one. Everything that is in black, I mean except the butt pad that is made of rubber, is made of aluminum and or steel, depending on what part we are talking about. Now, RDB is a bullpup replica, and that means that magazine is behind the trigger. For those who are using standard replicas, that may be a bit odd at the beginning, but you can get into it very fast. It also means that the mass is distributed more on the back than on the front, but if you're holding this like a shooter ready, it's very comfortable, and also means that it's easier to maneuver right and left. Being a bullpup, it is also much shorter than standard rifles with the same length of barrel. So if you want to use it in the wooden terrain, it's no problem. There is more than 40 centimeters of internal barrel inside. If you want to go CQB, let's just compare it with an Uzi. Yes, with PSO1, you can hate me for that. They are almost the same length. So you can have fun everywhere. On the top we've got quite a long wrist rail for optics or mechanical sights if you'd like to choose something like that, because this comes without any sights. I would recommend red dot or a scope. Now on the bottom there is also a wrist rail for extra accessories. The front grip has quite a distinguished texture that's very comfortable. You can grip it even if you want to C-clamp it like so. If you're very tall, there will be a problem with that because the stock is unadjustable like in most of the bullpups. On the left side we've got a mock-up of a charging handle that only does that. If you're left-handed, you can swap it on the right side. The fire control is of course ambidextrous, as is the mag release. We're gonna come to this in a moment. We've got few attachment points for the sling, one here, one metal one here, one metal rotating here, and one on the top of the stock, and they are also ambidextrous, so here, here and here there are also points to attach your sling. Mag release is ambidextrous. You can access it by taking your hand back, and not every magazine will fall down. If it's not loose one, it will stay here. Note that not to lose one on the battlefield. You can also take it like so, replace the mag, and you're ready to go. If you're left-handed, it works the same. Alright, so I'm looking on this beautiful machine and I can't find a way to adjust Hopup. Let me take out the magazine. Oh, there it is. Very narrow space, so I will not even fit my small pinky inside. I'm sure most of you would also had the problem, but ARES thought this through. And here in the pistol grip there is a small teeny tiny screwdriver, and you use it to adjust the hop-up chamber. I kid you not. Okay, it is a bit of pain in the bee, but what you gonna do? That's the idea, and it works. Just in case you have another one in your backpack. Now, to get access to battery compartment, we need to take out this pin. We can push it out using our small screwdriver, like so. Let's put it back in, not to lose it. Yep. And the front grip gets off. There's not a lot of space here, but you can fit 11.1 1100 mAh battery with no problem, and much more smaller or a little bit bigger. Alright, so let's talk a bit about internals. Barrel inside, I mean the internal barrel, is 413 millimeters. As for the hop-up chamber, well, you've already seen. Trigger works with a micro switch. So, no iron bar inside. That means that trigger would be perfect if you want to make a DMR out of it. And the trigger is connected with MOSFET EFCS, electronic fire control system. That means you can program it when you buy a special programmer, because it's not in the box, but it is 11.1 ready. As for the gearbox, well, they needed to make the gearbox especially for this replica, but it uses very much of standard parts like piston, like piston head, like gears or motor. And motor is a short type, high torque one. The nozzle, for example, it's a standard AR-15 nozzle, so if you're thinking about upgrading it, it's ready to go. It also has a quick spring change possibility, but it's not very fast, and you need a tool to do it, so we're gonna fasten the video in a moment. Ta-da! For Chrono test, we'll use 0.2 Specna Arms Edge BBs and 11.1 Specna Arms battery. Okay, so if you are looking for a very unique bullpup design, this replica are available in Gunfire and wait for you. Do not be troubled, it is mostly made of polymer, but so is the original. And the polymer is very thick, nothing wobbles here, and those screws, well, that's what real Kel-Tec does. They screw their replicas together from two parts. Internally, it's ready to be upgraded. It's short enough to be a CQB weapon. The barrel inside is long enough to give you good performance outside the buildings. So, you know where to find them. Gunfire has these and other items ready for you. See you again in another episode of Gunfire TV.